Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So 2 days ago, I shared this video. I shared this YouTube. And within the YouTube, I shared that there's an American in the early 1900s, critics on Chinese Kung Fu at that time, that it doesn't follow the physiological sequence, and it is state performance flowery stuff, which is not usable. So due to this, many friends worldwide message me, asking me, "Whoa, Hendrik, are you sure? Why don't you show us which American? Is this true? Or is just put down the Chinese?" So today, I'd like to share with you which American. And so we need to put many misleading stuff in Kung Fu, including in Wing Chun. We need to put it in rest. We need to reform, okay? The idea of base everything on history is we have a records. So we can trace whatever we are talking about. Now, first I give you some review. So we're going to lead to 1930s. So 450 years ago, General Qi Ji Guang have critics on Chinese Kung Fu is useless. It's just flowery stuff. That's why when you face the Japanese pirate, Japanese warrior, it is no can do. And that lead to General Qi Ji Guang and Yi Dayu reform the Chinese Kung Fu. So for those who have not read my book, this is what it is. This is the only book today in the world in English language which is show you what is going on in 1560s. No other book, okay? I know there are some copycat out there, but this is the only book to tell you what is the truth. Now, so General Qi Ji Guang reformed the military training, the martial arts, and so forth, so forth. And from 1560, it get to the late 1500s and early 1600, where Ming Dynasty is gone, replaced by the Qing Dynasty, and then continue on down to 1935, around that time, 1930s. Now, at that time, this is Tang Hao, our friend, Tang Hao, is critic the Chinese Kung Fu again. The same mumbo jumbo where General Qi Ji Guang critics. It seems that the Chinese, after 300 something years from 1560 to 1900, It go back to the mumbo jumbo stuff, the flowery stuff. So Tang Hao at that time is having debate. Okay, if you watch this video of mine, this YouTube. At that time, there's a person, Chen Weiming, is a businessman for marketing purpose, pushing his Yang Taiji, promote his Yang Taiji, with Taiji, Zhan San Feng, and all sort of stuff, all this mysterious stuff, where you can see today, okay? So all this Taiji stuff, you heard about the Taoists and all this ultimate and whatever philosophy is come up from that time. Well, Tang Hao at that time want to do away of it, want to reform and want to get scientific. Now, at that time, Dr. Ma Litang, who also practiced internal art, Tai Chi and so forth, Tang Hao also practiced Tai Chi, Chen Tai Chi, if memory serves, if I'm not wrong. So they want to reform is because all this nonsense is put into the Chinese martial art just for selling. So Ma Litang, so all this Tang Hao and Ma Litang, he is a college educate. So all those college educate people say, hey man, you know, it doesn't work, man. This is just nonsense. So they want to go scientific, and even Ma Litang at that time read the book and already using the mapping or using the Western medicine's informations there. The spots and the heart and so forth. This is 1930s, okay? So all these educated people and, you know, Tang Hao go study in Japan. And so all these highly educated people just know, and it doesn't go nowhere if you keeping selling bullshit, okay? Yes, internal art is bullshit, okay? As all this marketing, because they are no longer the real, like the Chen Tai Chi. There's no longer that. It's just, no, it's just a mess. So this is the book. This is a page from Tang Hao's book, 1850, 1935. You can get this book, okay? So this is a page of it, in the page of it. So at that time, there's an American. There's an American, say, Mike Lock. His name is Mike Lock here, okay? He's a Chinese. And he said that Chinese martial art at that time is a decorations, okay? It's a decorations. In terms of sports and physical educations, it doesn't follow the physiological sequence of training. In terms of applications, it is just some kinds of fake fighting demo stuff, okay? It doesn't have like the sparring in the Europe or America's martial art, you know, like boxing, Western boxing, right? So what does American Matlock saying is exactly is similar to what General Qi Jiguang complain and critiques about the Chinese martial art 300 something years ago, because this is 100 years before, right? About 350 years ago. So this is what in this page. Okay, so just get it clear, even 100 years ago, all the bullshit internal art, Tai Chi is ultimate, is there. And it is publication, and at that time, already being critics by many clear-minded Chinese martial artists and highly educated martial artists of China, and also the American, who is an expert in who influential in physical education of China. So who is this American Mike Clark? You say Mike Clark here. Well, truth is truth. He is Mike Clark. Well, the Chinese, say this Mike Clark, but actually his name is Charles H. McCloy. So he is from Ohio. And he graduated from Merita College. So this is his resume. So there's such person, okay? So he influenced a lot on the Chinese in terms of the physical education of China. So Mr. McCloy was born in Material, Ohio, March 1886. He earned his PhD at the college. 1907, he was awarded MA and, this thing. And Mr. McCloy studied Johns Hopkins Medical School. After 1913, he was attended Ohio State University during a one-year program where servicing in China as a secretary within the Department of Education. So you go on, you can just copy this or just go to the website, look at it. Okay, so he have a doctor of physical education, and then he taught physical education at college, served as Young Men Christian Association location in China and the United States between this time. And Mike Clark was professor of physical education at University of Iowa, micro specialty in the anthropometry and analysis of motor skill. He was active professor associate in physical education, serving as president of SERVER. He wrote numerous books in both Chinese and English language during and after World War II. He advised on physical fitness of US Army, Navy, and Air Force. Okay, in 1946, he was a member of American Education Mission to occupy Japan. So Mr. or Professor McCloy, he's a professor in the University of Iowa, research specialty in anthropometry and analysis of motor skill. So what is motor skill? A motor skill is a function of involved specific movement of the body and muscle to perform certain tasks. These tasks could including walking, running, hiking, and biking. In order to perform this skill, the body, nervous system, muscle, and brain have to all work together. So this is Mr. McCloy in this book. So at 1930s, the Chinese already know of the screw up. And that's why all this reform is called. But too bad, at 1930s, you start to have the Japanese invasion and all this good people, all this reform aborted. Okay. So you want to challenge Professor McCloy with your internal orders like this today? You better think twice, okay? Because when you start with doing business with hearsays and legends, and of course, you know this, you can spot right through, okay? Since he is also the uh, advisor on physical fitness of US Army, Navy, and Air Force, you think people don't know anything? You think Professor McCoy doesn't know what he's talking about when he spot whatever the Chinese martial art is do at that time? And of course, not all Chinese martial art is bullshit. It's all those is what he's talking about is like the Qi Ji Guang is complain about, hey man, this is all bullshit stuff. Okay, and like Tang Hao. So that's why I sum up for you last time, whatever the General Qi Ji Guang into this thing, into this page. And now this is all scientific. Now what Professor McCloy studied, the motor skill and so forth, of course it's going to link to movement, your strength, your power, and your momentum stuff. So at 1930s, people know right already that this is a kiss of death if you continue go on. Oh, I play Tai Chi slow, fudging, lose. Come on. When people dealing with a war like Mr. Dr. McCloy, can you bullshit him? So this is Qi Ji Guang, and like in this video, if you're not watching yet, please watch it. So you see what is real martial art is. What is real Chinese martial art is. Okay. So if you want to talk about real Chinese martial art, it is this in this page, like as in the other video, the previous video I shared with you. You want to talk about internal art, this is internal art. You need to have the six core element, which is following the physiological sequence. You don't keep in talking about qi, internal, mind power, using your yi, not using your qi, but nobody know what the heck it is since 100 years ago. And people still buy in today. Okay, so these two pages sum up everything. If you are not clear with these two pages, take away your title as grandmaster or as what student or whatever. Don't tell me that, because 100 years ago, people already clearly tell you. Okay, so that's why I can map the real Chinese martial art into sports science. I can map it into the sports science because I'm following those who is in 1930s. Nobody said Tai Chi is fake. Okay? Nobody say Wing Chun is fake at 1930s. The fake Tai Chi and all those is all those adding in philosophy, Zhan San Feng, Qi, you practice it slow, you have the Neijing and all those kind of nonsense bullshit. And that intoxicate everybody, including Wing Chun today. Please watch my the previous video, this one. Okay. So, well, Hendrik playing bad guy here, right? It's not bad guy. You can get entirely wipe out your Wing Chun. or your Kung Fu or your Tai Chi if you are not clear on what the heck you are doing. Okay? So that's why I map it here for your training. For the real traditional Chinese martial art is like this. This is a real traditional Chinese martial art. This is for the real, where it follow the physiological sequence. So even if you get Professor McCloud to look at that, they say, okay, yeah, this is what it is. Now, that's why the other day I even talk about the breathing with this YouTube, proper breathing handling. And one need to know the anatomy and the physiology of how this pelvic floor muscle and your diaphragm move, how you need to know all this thing and your intra-abdominal pressure. So please watch this. And you need to have this, I like share here in this YouTube, to be able to know how you can use this today. This is a scientific proven stuff, so that you know that how your pelvic floor muscle, how you contract your abdomen, your lower abs, how you clamp your butt, how you lifting your anus or your hui yin, and how you deal with the spine on the tailbone and those stuff. I mean, all is actually very scientific. The Chinese know what they are doing. They have at least 100 years of experience. Okay? It is not this. Tailbone forward. And that's why anybody preaching this is actually screwing up. It is exactly what the Dr. Professor McCloy critiques the Chinese on 1935, 1930s. So stop those oh, you have to do this, shoulder this, and then tailbone forward, and then knee bend stuff. You need to be able to handle this so that you be able, like, now please watch this, you be able to breathe properly, you have a proper physiological handling. Or else you couldn't even breathe, you couldn't even move your body. I mean, what is that? So that's why this book, Decoding Wing Chun, is the only book today to show you what the heck is the truth of the Chinese Kung Fu in the Western sense, in the Western medical sense. So why am I wrote this kind of thing? Why am I make this video? Face it, you practice Wing Chun, you practice Tai Chi, you practice Kung Fu. Do you want result? Do you want to have a healthy body? At least you don't screw your body. There's a reason. It's not that I'm a grandmaster. I'm no grandmaster. I learned from others, and the ancient Chinese, the proper seafoods have already shared in details. It's just people don't follow it for past 100 years in 1900s and the early 1900s until today. Start with the Tai Chi internal bullshit, and then it get to the Wing Chun, and then you get this my lineage, that my lineage. So as what I present the other day, I said that in this YouTube, I said I know all of those grandmaster, including those who designed the Xiu Lim Tao set today, the Wing Chun you practice, have no idea what is going on. Why? I mean, you look at everybody preaching this. So if you bring this back even 100 years back to 1930s, go to Professor McCloy, say in China, he can tell you, hey man, this is actually not following physiological stuff, and you cannot handle the motor skill. I mean, you cannot handle the motor skill, or you be not be able to handle the movements, even the basic. So this is what I like to share with you today. This is how bad it is. So is your Wing Chun real? No, it's fake. It's keeping pile up, making. You copy me, I copy you. It's like there's a song in the Hong Kong movie. It said that you copy me, I copy you. So in this pathway to go to hell, we never lonely. We are in America right now. We do not want to do that. We want reform. Not that Chinese is bad. You look at the Chinese in 1900, they cannot do much. That's why they wrote book. 100 years later, we can check it out. We know what it is. And we know that for 100 years in China, you cannot reform it. That means it is over. So we take it to America, we reform it here. We want to get the truth to show, and then we can grow. Like General Qi Ji Guang said, hey, the business of fighting is you always need to continuously learn. General Qi Ji Guang even learned the Japanese samurai sword art. Because at that time, the samurai sword art is very, very advanced. The Chinese have difficulties to face it. So the Qi Ji Guang learned that and reformed the Chinese martial arts and so forth. So if we don't get the scientific, we don't look in the history, and then we don't follow what the real Chinese teaching is. Every day, like right now, you see, oh, this grandmaster said, Mui say this, Ji Sim say this. Can you track who is Mui and Ji Sim? Where we can track which American is there. Is that true that there's an American in early 1900 in China who is expert in physical educations? So I know all those things, these few days, all these videos I share with you might make you explode. But face it, if we don't face it, it's just selling snake oil. Especially those internal art bullshit stuff. Even 100 years ago, we know that those things doesn't work. It's just a marketing BS. When you don't know anything, you always make it mysterious, magical like. And you can see none of the students be able to replicate the thing. You need to have scientific, like here on. If it's according to me, all Wing Chuners who do Xiu Lin Tao, get one of this. Watching my video, make sure that you follow how the body function. Not what your Sifu say, tilting your your tailbone, lifting your anus. You have this chi power, mind power, nonsense. Why nonsense? You couldn't even make your body function. How the hell you can have any motor skill, a breathing skill, your intra-abdominal pressure handling? So this is a reality. You are free to believe what you want. But in America, we want result. We better go scientific so everybody be able to repeat what they practice. and is safe because it is medically proven safe. Not doing something like a Professor McLeod say, hey man, you guys Chinese don't even follow the physiological sequence when you go training. And then you say, well, yeah, I don't have to follow that because this is internal. It's chi power from the Taoists. You buy into that? Sorry, it is 2024. There's, people need to have a public minded. Stop to propagate those toxic stuff to the America and the West to screw people.